It's the Brian and Kindra Show with Brian Cook and Kindra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kindra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, it's the Brian and Kindra Show.
Okay, what did you just freak out about?
Maybe I left the statistics on the phone.
I left the office
Yes.
and I'm like, okay, it's time to be going. Of course, then I sat in the car forever. And don't forget your stats.
Yeah.
And
I did them. I'll have to just quote them from memory.
Oh, my Atlanta, you probably will too. That's
Yes.
exactly how you are.
Yeah. So
I'm excited. I say that every week, but I really am excited every week.
Yes.
But today we have Melinda Russo with Bank7. She's part of the dynamic duo at Bank7, and they're one of our sponsors. Thank you for being a sponsor.
Yes.
But thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Okay, so we were talking a little bit ago, and I'm like, how many jobs you got? You're like the hardest woman in banking. You know that?
Oh,
Like,
I wouldn't say
there
that.
are no banking hours for you, are there?
Not really, but I love everything I do.
Well, I don't think you like to be still. I think that you and Brian have that in common. Like, you don't sit down, do you?
Nope.
No. Okay, so one of my favorite things. So I'm a friend of yours on Facebook. Can we be friends in IRL too?
Sure.
Okay, thanks. All right, so we're friends, and on Facebook, one, your grand girl, oh, the curls.
I love them.
Oh my gosh. So how old is she now? 3?
She is just over 2.
Okay, she's a little over 2. She looks really tall.
She is. She's at 3 foot tall.
She is hilarious.
Wow.
She makes me laugh. All your little posts. She's always so cute. But she's got this darling little curly hair. But like all summer long, like you just go. And it's like all outside stuff. Like, I mean, you've got your pool. So, I know you get some R&R.
Yes.
But like you're all about the getting dirty and the yard work kind of stuff.
I love it.
Which is great because I've got some projects.
Well, sign me up.
worked right into that.
I'll fit you right in my schedule and we'll get it done.
Fantastic. Wait till you see the pictures.
Oh, boy.
We tried to put in a swimming pool in our backyard today, but then we just didn't.
Yeah, we
very
thought
dull.
about it. We just put it all right back in.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I didn't have a lot of grass before, but I got no grass now, baby.
Oh, no.
But she can.
Okay, maybe I don't want to sign up for this project.
Everything's fine. I'm fine. Oh, those aren't tears. Everything's fine. Okay, so for reals though, we are so excited to have you. We've had Connie on before. In fact, we did a snowball fight with Connie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Are you thrilled that didn't happen this time?
She was jealous because she
You
had
know,
taken us all
had we
out.
been here last week, we probably could have done that.
I know. Well, and it's like, right, it was the anniversary of it because it showed up on my Facebook thing a couple of weeks ago. And I got kind of tickled. That was way so much fun. I don't think that a lot of our buyers that work with you and Connie realize that y'all are so fun.
And
I don't think they understand.
we're really good people. We just love our customers. We do.
You know how to be professional. I don't anymore.
Sure you do. You just have fun doing it.
Yes.
I've lost some of it. So, all right. So we, so you have, I don't want to like get into the whole thing,
You're
but
fine.
real quick. So you have had 13 years of experience
Yes.
in the banking industry and the lending part of the industry. So we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But you also have a little bit of a background in real estate. You spent a year doing some, I don't know, what
What's
is
your
my
job?
job?
Basically doing pretty much what I do now, just processing files for the realtors.
So I love that because I feel like it gives you, I feel like that puts you at an advantage. Boy, my words. What do you do when you can't talk, Branson? He just shakes his head at me. Music. Okay. Cue the tunes. All right. So I feel like that gives you this huge advantage because you understand our side of it and you have your side down pat. And I just think that that's so helpful. It helps to make the process go smoother.
And it is. I mean, having the knowledge and background helps a bunch because I do know that you know what you guys are doing and to keep you guys informed. And it makes the whole process just go so much smoother.
I feel like it does, and I love that. So anyway, thank you for being here. We're excited to talk to you in a minute. All right, Brain.
Brain. All right. Yes.
So do you know that for years, whenever I would text and be like, well, I don't know, let me ask the listing agent, Brain. And I'd be like, no, it's not his name. His name is Brian.
It autocorrects. See, 'cause it
Dang
knows.
phone.
It just knows.
Yeah, whatever.
So our statistics this week. Did you know we had no residential closings in the last 7 days?
Are you serious? You know why? Because we have so many problems.
Man, I swear we have had some tax ones. I don't know. We've had a lot of. Some guy thought it was married that didn't disclose that he was married, and so now we have to find his ex.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's been exciting. So yeah,
that doesn't happen in mortgage.
Yeah,
oh
so that
my gosh.
So next week may be chaos if we can get all the input together, which we got a bunch of closings next week. So, but there's 58 houses in Woodward on the market.
That's
now.
the same as last week, wasn't it?
59 last week.
I'm not going to argue with you because you're numbered, but I really thought you said 58 last week.
And at this point, I can make
whatever.
it happen. Nobody can prove it.
Well, that's not true. Whenever you go next week, I'll be looking at it and be like, oh, I see, I was right.
So, yeah. So, there's the markets, we're still losing inventory, and we still have buyers. And so, like, this weekend, we wrote 6 contracts on, but we haven't finalized it all, but we got like 6 houses under contract. And
how many of those were on the market?
2.
Okay, so for reals, like I feel like we're begging at this point, but we need listings.
Yes.
And we need all the price ranges. Like I had kind of joked, did I tell this on the radio? I can't remember. I had been texting with an investor and she had asked if we had, how did that go down? She had asked if we had something in a certain price range and I was like, no. And then I was like, but do you have a 4-bedroom in the $250,000 range? It was like, go fish.
Yes.
Like legit, go fish with this investor. Yep. Like we need listings in all the different price ranges right now.
Yep.
We really do. So if you're thinking about selling, and you said this before, it feels like part of the reason that we're not having the sales that we think we should have is because there's nothing to buy.
Correct. I think
we
that's 100%
need the inventory.
Right. Like I think we would. I mean, I think we'd take people off my board that are looking if they had an answer.
Absolutely.
There's just no answer.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in selling your home, obviously if you're interested in buying, calls too, but for sure, if you have a house that you think, okay, it's time, let's do it, let's get it on the market, and give Brian and I a call. So Brian is 580
334.
I just lost it.
She's just 2303.
I was stuck on 580-216-0090.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Comfort Zone is a multi-generational company serving Northwest Oklahoma in commercial and residential needs. Plumbing, air conditioning, heaters, refrigeration, sewer and drain cleaning, backhoe trencing, and crane service. And they are your geothermal specialists. Contact them at 580-254-5864 or stop by 116 East Main Street.
It's the 5 hours you spend in the kitchen mastering your famous recipe or spending quality time with your family. Other insurance companies may just see it as a house. It's not just a house, it's your home. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Kevin Kanzler, and I see your home as the time and memories you put into them. I understand what your things really mean to you, and I'm here to help give them the protection they deserve. My office is located on the corner of 13th and Oklahoma and Woodward, or call me at 580-256-2216 for your home insurance today.
On Point Land Survey can take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial survey needs. This family-owned and operated business proudly serves Northwest Oklahoma and Southwest Kansas. These lifelong Northwest Oklahoma residents with over 19 years of experience are ready to serve you with the latest equipment and capable trucks to get your job done. Call On Point Land Survey today at 580-256-6757 or at 1918 Main Street in Woodward, Oklahoma, or visit their website at onpointlandsurveyok.com. Professional, trusted, local.
This is Todd McHugh,
Jackie Jones,
and Flor Castro
with Woodward County Abstract. Thank you to all of Northwest Oklahoma for letting Woodward County Abstract handle all of your real estate closing and title needs.
We provide real estate closings and title insurance for all of Northwest Oklahoma.
Pasen a verme para todas sus dudas y preguntas sobre bienes raíces. Con gusto les explico el proceso y estoy disponible a cada paso de la transacción para asistir con lo que usted necesite para cerrar su contrato.
We appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Connie Rowland in the Mortgage Department at Bank7. Bank7 is a full-service bank with over 40 years of combined experience. Melinda Russo and I are a dynamic duo team committed to making your loan process smooth. With a variety of loan products, we would love to sit down with you and discuss your loan options in person, or we offer online and over-the-phone application processing. The Woodward branch is located at 34th in Oklahoma. Find us online at mortgage.bank7.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Bank7 is an equal housing lender in MLS 677297. Phone 580-254-0100, where our best investment is you.
We're back.
All right, so Melinda Russo, part of the dynamic duo at Bank7. It's time for you to be in the hot seat.
Okay.
right.
Fire away.
Just kidding. Okay, so one of the reasons that we wanted to have you on right now is because we know that a lot of our buyers have minimal funds in their bank in order to close. And so a lot of buyers think, well, I can't buy a house because I don't have enough money, because they still think old school that they need to have 20% down and their closing cost and it's not like that.
No, it's not. The USDA loan's a great one for a first-time home buyer. It's 100% financing. With that, you're allowed, 6% seller's concessions if you can get the seller to do so. Of course, that's when you want your realtor to help get that taken care of for you. But FHA is 3.5%, and again, the seller can pay 6%. VA 6%, and that's 100% financing if you have the veterans background. And then we do have some conventional loans that are 3% down, and on a conventional, a seller can provide 3% of the concessions.
I think, and I hate that that information is still not out there enough, which I don't think is a problem on the lender by any means. I think it's just hard to get it into our minds how easy, I don't want to say easy, it's not easy, it's still work, but how much easier it is to get into a home with little money down. And I feel like I'm one of those commercials that I see on TV that I don't particularly care for. It's like, no money down. That's not what I mean, but it is what I mean. Right. I mean, we have seen some closings where the buyer, because up front they still have some funds. I mean, up front they still have earnest money. And that we really like to see 1% of the purchase price for earnest money. But that's a negotiable part of the contract. So maybe $500, maybe $1,000 earnest money. If they do home inspections, the home inspector gets paid at the time of the inspection. Yes. So and the appraisal gets paid up front as well, usually. Yes. So we recognize that there's still some funds that are needed in order to buy the house. But we've seen going to closing and then the buyer get a check back.
And with a USDA loan, you do see that, and that's, a lot to do with the seller's concessions, you know, where they can pay the closing costs and prepaids up to the 6%. And, of course, the buyer does have to pay those fees up front, and they don't understand, that is something they could get back. But, they sitting down and talking to a lender, I mean, there's so much you can learn about what you need to get that loan. Right.
And so that's one of the reasons we wanted to have you here. So right now we're doing I'm not doing my taxes. I mean, I know I'm supposed to, but I just don't want to. I mean, there's still time, right?
Months.
Brian's like, it doesn't
October
matter. He's not
15th,
going to do his till October.
That's right.
So, but right now doing taxes and so many people are going to be getting a return. And then last year with the stimulus happening, the 2 different times that the stimulus was received by so many people, those are great ways to save for a home.
Yes, they are. And reason being is because they're good sourceable funds.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Say that again.
They're good sourceable funds.
So if I go when I have a garage sale and I take in $1,000 cash and I put it into my account and I come and I say, okay, I'm ready to buy a house. I got $1,000.
Then that would have to be seasoned for at least 60 days, which puts more time out.
Right.
So
that's why it's so important. That's one of the reasons why this is such a good time, because a lot of us will sell things in order to be able to purchase the home that we want, which is awesome and a great way. I mean, I think that's Dave Ramsey approved, right? But it does. It makes it a challenge in the lending process. So those seasoned funds are sourceable funds.
Seasoned,
so we know,
sourceable, yes.
Yes, we know where they came from. It's a legitimate source of income, so to speak. I don't think that's the right term, but the funds are legitimate. Everybody is happy to see them. They understand where they came from. There's nothing weird about them. But that's usually plenty of funds. Usually the tax return, particularly, we see that a lot with our buyers. I mean, I'm not going to say this for everybody. Some of us, we don't really get tax returns, but a lot of times the tax return allows the buyer to proceed with buying a home with a USDA loan or an FHA.
And especially, I mean, with USDA, it is income-based in your region. So if your income is higher than what a USDA loan would allow, an FHA doesn't have that income base. So then you'd have the 3.5% where that income tax would come in. And yet you'd still be able to get seller's concessions up to 6% if that's negotiated.
Right. Okay. And you've said that a couple times, so I'll pause for a minute. That's Brian and I's job.
Yes.
So to speak. But we can't suggest that.
No.
And so it's tricky. So then it's your job. Like, isn't that crazy how that goes back and forth? And so that's why, I mean, that's one of the reasons that you and Connie are so valuable, because your buyers, our buyers, will come in and say, my lender said to ask you how to get my closing costs put in this contract.
Yes.
That is so helpful, because I can't say to them particularly, don't you need to ask for... I mean, it gets kind of tricky the way that we have to kind of play that game.
And that goes back to them coming in, getting pre-qualified and sitting down and learning, getting educated of what they can do.
Right.
And that's the biggest part of buying your home, is you've got to be educated and learn a lot about, what you can and what you cannot do right up front before you get into the big step. And there's so many people that do not understand, cash is not a good source. Which is funny. We want it because in our minds, but cash is king, right? Yes.
I was writing an offer this week, and they said cash money, and cash money sounds beautiful. I always laugh. I don't know what other kind of money there is. But
rubles and yen, and
I'm always like, I don't know what the alternative would be. Yeah. So, but legitimately, I mean, cash is typically king. That is usually what we want to see. But in a lender situation, it's different, and it goes back to being able to. I mean, it really just kind of shows the credibility of the buyer, right?
Yes. And
so that's why that's so important.
And having that paper trail is something that, is required. And all lenders, they make us verify that. And it's so much easier to verify direct deposit from your payroll.
Yes.
The stimulus check, we saw a few of those. And the tax return. And even if your tax return, isn't large enough to go ahead and buy the home at that time, put it in a savings account. Save with it. And then maybe in a few months, you can add to that, and then you'll be ready for it.
Right, absolutely. Another thing, you said a minute ago, you were talking about an FHA loan versus the USDA loan. So a USDA loan is a 100% loan, so zero down payment. And the seller can pay 6%. So $100,000, seller can pay $6,000 of the buyer's closing costs if it's written into the contract.
Yes.
With the FHA, they can also, same thing, 6% can be paid toward the buyer's closing cost of the purchase price. A lot of my buyers, I have heard this, I don't know how many times in the past, I'm not good at math, since 2006. I don't know how many times I have heard a buyer come in and say, well, I can't get that FHA loan. I'm not a first-time home buyer. There's some kind of a stigma with the term FHA. People think that means first-time home buyer. Isn't that funny?
And it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, because, I have seen where, they've had an FHA loan previously.
Right.
And it just has to be, they can only have one at a time.
Exactly.
So if that other FHA loan has been paid off or it was in the past, then they are still eligible for the FHA loan.
I think that's important because it's a 3.5% down payment. And because what you said a minute ago, because with USDA loan, I'm capped with a particular income. But with FHA,
it is not.
It's not capped. I was thinking it was capped. I was thinking it was like an enormous cap. But
it's a lot huger.
Most of us don't have to worry about that cap.
No. And that's what's good about, most of the first-time home buyers, they don't have that huge income.
Right. Exactly.
And they do qualify for the USDA. But when you have that one that doesn't, then it's good to have that to offer them.
Right.
So, and, we also have the 3% conventionals, which, those are income capped too on the home readies and home possibles, things like that. And if you don't fit in that, then there's always a 5% down conventional.
So I've always been a fan of the 5% or the 3% conventional because, and so this gets a little bit, this sometimes is too much information for a buyer, but FHA and USDA have the PMI for the life of the loan, the mortgage insurance. I always say it weird, and so I was afraid I was going to say it weird again. And so a lot of, so I don't like that because in my brain, I'm going to keep my house long enough this time that I don't want to have PMI for the life of my loan. So in my brain, I want to have a conventional loan so that falls off whenever I've paid down to the 78%, 80% is what we say, but it's really like 78%, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in my brain, that's what I want. I want that PMI to fall off, so I'm just paying all my principal and my interest and nothing extra. That's kind of the benefit of the conventional loan. The negative
The negative is on a USDA and FHA PMI, it's not as high as what the MI would be on a conventional loan.
Say that again?
The conventional loan has a higher PMI rate than what an FHA and a USDA would have, even though they're the life of the loan.
And a higher interest rate usually, correct?
And generally, they're ranging close to the same, but yes, a little bit higher.
And so I think we're still seeing, we got super excited last year because we saw interest rates go way down into the low 2s. And you even had a guy come
1.99.
Which just makes it to this day, I'm like, I'm going to stutter. 1.99%? Oh my goodness gracious.
Sure, I didn't see his numbers, but I'm sure he paid points, and I'm sure he paid.
Do you think that's the deal?
I know he
Well,
had
then quit
and
quoting that. I keep getting all excited and it's not even real.
Note, refinance.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the term of the loan makes a big difference on your interest rate. It does make a big difference.
But we saw low 2s. And I think we're still seeing in the 2s in a USDA loan, right?
Right.
And then... But we're hearing the interest rates are creeping up a little bit. So we had a guy this week tell us, he called and he said, you're not going to believe this, but yesterday it was 3 point and it was low 3s. And whenever he ended up signing, it was over 3.5. Oh, no.
And we did.
3.5.
I
know. This is from the 8% back in the day, girl. Yeah.
We get several notifications every day from all of our lenders, rates have worsened, rates are better. And even though they say that they've gotten worse, they're still pretty competitive.
Holy cow.
Absolutely.
Really competitive. So.
Definitely. All right. Did you make a little note over there?
It's for me.
You can't do that.
Just...
I know, but I can't do this and read your writing and talk to Melinda.
That's why I left it here and covered it.
All right. So
if you don't let me talk, I come up with more work to do. See, I've got all this new work that I'm just sitting here thinking we need to be taking care of.
Brian's going to leave town, so he's going to get as much work for me as possible.
Right.
Because he thinks that I don't have anything to do tomorrow.
It's Friday, and the boss is gone.
That's when everything gets done.
I think he thinks I work when he's there.
Yeah.
Not this week, right?
Yeah.
Golly. I do have to work all weekend probably to counteract my lateness all week. It really has been a heck of a week. Can we take tomorrow off? Can I, Melinda?
You may.
Thank you.
Yes. So what time do I call you?
Do you know that?
Well,
now we know you can do my job too.
Yeah, we might get with Connie on that. But
I think Connie's watching, and she's probably going to be like, "Yeah, no, quit."
No, quit.
But I'm not taking off because it's my birthday tomorrow. And
is it really?
I've got goodies coming from. Actually, it was Connie's birthday Monday.
Oh.
So she's supplying the goodies for mine tomorrow.
Wow.
Speaking of goodies, okay, so you just celebrated your 5-year work anniversary with Connie.
Yes, I did on February 8th.
Congratulations. I think that's awesome. Like, you guys really are, we call you the dynamic duo. We really mean that. And you and I were talking a little bit beforehand, the way that you complement one another with your skill set, her skill set, and the way that it all comes together. And you are a very fantastic team.
It does. And I've enjoyed working with her so much, and I've learned so much. And it's amazing the things you can get done together as a team. And, your main goal is that customer, taking care of them.
Yes.
Giving them the best program you can get them into, and just all of it together. Just, it's awesome. Just
absolutely.
Awesome.
I agree. All right. You want to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Homeowners and business owners, do you want to know how to extend the life of your home or commercial building? Call APC LLC in Woodward. APC specializes in installing high-quality 5-inch and 6-inch seamless guttering and custom commercial guttering. Whether it's a small system or a large system, APC can help. Call APC LLC at 580-571-2384. That number again is 580-571-2384 for all your seamless gutter needs.
Our home is usually our largest investment, and we insure it against damage. One unseen destructive force not covered by most insurance policies is termites, which can infest a house for years before being detected. Termites cost U.S. homeowners an estimated $5 billion annually in treatment and repairs. Using the Centricon termite bait system, JCP Services can protect your home from the threat of a termite infestation. Call 580-334-5380. Again, 580-334-5380.
Stop in to Modern Appliance on Main Street today to see powerful Maytag brand kitchen appliances available in a finish inspired by cast iron. Cast iron black is a hard-working, matte finish that is as tough as it is timeless, so you can trust it to help resist scratches while helping hide fingerprints and minor dents, and stand up to the everyday. Add an iconic look to your home with cast iron black kitchen appliances from Maytag brand. See it at Modern Appliance, 2102 Main, or online at modernappliancewoodward.com.
For 150 years, Sherwin-Williams has been an industry leader in the development of technologically advanced paint and coatings. As the nation's largest specialty retailer of paint and painting supplies, Sherwin-Williams is dedicated to supporting both your do-it-yourselfers and painting professionals with exceptional products, resources to make confident color selections, and expert personalized service that's focused on your unique project needs. Sherwin-Williams is your neighborhood paint store. Stop by and see them, 2101 Oklahoma Avenue, or call them 580-256-5861.
Brian just put me in this major panic.
Hey, if I had my phone, which is recording us, I can tell you. But nonetheless.
You know, if Connie had her phone, she could be harassing us right now on Facebook, yes. But instead she's doing it underneath her husband's phone.
But yeah.
All right, so one of the things that's really cool about Bank7 is your app. Do you want to talk to us about that?
Yes, if you're interested in a home loan with Bank7, you can always go on to our bank7.com and fill out the application there for your mortgage loan, and then one of us will contact you, and it flows right into our workflow.
So it makes it easy. Nights, weekends, you're thinking, man, Brian just put a house on the corner for sale. I'd love to move from this rent house to that house. You can just go straight to Bank7, fill out their form. Assuming probably first thing Monday morning, that's the first thing you check, and then you'll be giving them a call back.
Yes.
And qualify them, and I'll probably have already shown you the house because that's what I do.
Hey, we like that.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's a smooth process. All right, I was trying to look to see because I really think that I'm forgetting something, but I can't remember what it is that I'm forgetting.
It doesn't matter. So
doesn't matter.
It doesn't. So we went by the bank today. On the way here, rushed through the drive-through. Super great location. You guys are at an easy to find. You walk in the door, everybody's helpful there. It's very. Some people are uncomfortable just walking into a business, and so I would tell you I'm not an online application filler out guy. I'm just I want to come in. You guys are more than willing and able, and just come on in. Ask for you guys. They'll direct you to you, and you guys, there's two of you, so
yes.
Somebody will be able to take an application in person
yes.
and make it easy. Some people like online stuff. I don't know. I feel like I do that all day long. So
well, Connie or myself will always be there, one or the other, and we work that out. And we love the customers to come in as well and sit and visit. Sometimes it's so much easier, especially if you are inexperienced, because again, the education.
Absolutely. As I was just thinking, I remember it wasn't my first house, but it had been a while since I'd purchased a home, and the lender said, "Well, which loan type do you want?" And I remember thinking, I was pretty new to real estate actually, but I think he thought, "Oh, realtor, she knows everything." I knew nothing, and so I remember I said, "I have no idea. What do I want?" I just put it back on him. But instead of educating me, he said, "Well, you have to let me know."
See, and in general, that's not a question I don't think I've heard Connie really ask is what kind of loan do you want? She gets to know the person a little bit more, and we talk to see what their situation is, to see what loan we need to try and get them into.
Right.
And again, if you come in and your credit score and stuff's not quite where it needs to be, just getting the education and helping someone to know what they need to do to get to that point.
Yes, and that is so valuable. That's one of the first things that I remember noticing about Connie. When I moved back to Woodward in 2008 and was doing real estate here, that was the first thing I noticed was if a customer went to her and they said, went to Bank7 and I can't, but she said I don't think it was Bank7, but Connie, she said specifically, Connie said, if I do this in 6 months, and I would put them on my calendar, 6 months, check up on that buyer, and sure enough, in 6 months, they're like, yeah, I'm ready. I went and saw Connie and I'm ready. That's exciting stuff.
We get a lot of them that come back, and it's amazing how some of them listen and they're really wanting to do that. And even my son, you know, whatever I learned from Connie, I brought home and was telling him, and him and his wife bought their first home by following what she had taught me.
It's very exciting. And my daughter is the same way. She listens to all of these things and she'll ask me, well, what would Connie say? Like, because right now, this is the thing at our house right now. She is planning and planning and planning. She's got something in her mind and she's going to execute. And she's asked me a couple different times, is it time for me to talk to Connie?
Well, I can honestly
so she's going to get to talk to Melinda is what she's going to get to do, isn't it?
I can honestly say that not just the education she gives the customers, but she has given me a tremendous amount of education for my future to help those customers.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. So we've got a minute left, and so I want to thank all of our sponsors. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Educating our buyers. And I spent a lot of time with Sherwin-Williams. So I did buy a house, and I moved, and then I had to paint my old house and paint my new house. So
speaking of paint, APC.
Yes, he's been out. He was cleared that driveway. He's killed it. He's got all kinds of services more than just painting now.
Yes, very awesome. We spent some time with Woodward County Abstract this week.
Yes, and Kevin Kensler insured my new house, and my barn house is substantially
cheaper. And then happy birthday to Mike Gossett on Point Land Survey. Is that today?
I don't remember.
I don't know. We celebrated it last weekend.
We did. We went down to his cool new house and checked that out. He's actually ordered a survey for us first of the week. So we, again, appreciate all our sponsors and thank them for everything they do. Comfort Zone for all they do. So we'll see you guys next week, and thanks for listening.
Your new favorite, Classic Hits 107.3 KLSI Moreland Woodward. Tell a friend.